my songs, because I make these songs for people to listen to and say, no matter like what I'm going through or no matter what's going on, I'm not by myself.
So this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think 12 Carat Toothache by Post Malone is a lot better of an album than people give it credit for. In this video, I'm also going to make the case that it isn't significantly worse than Hollywood is Bleeding. 27-year-old Austin Post, aka Post Malone, has exploded within the music industry. At the start of Post's career, the songs White Iverson and Congratulations took the world by storm and set in motion a chain of events that would lead him to dominating the current music ecosystem. Post is an artist that I was definitely skeptical of due to his appearance and some clips I had seen during interviews that were taken out of context.
What are you doing for the Black Lives Matter movement?
What?
I don't know.
But after seeing his interactions with his fans and taking some time to listen to some of his interviews, he came across as a really likable person, and so it motivated me to try and see what the hype was about. This led me to the realization that Post makes music that is just overall really enjoyable to listen to. That isn't to say that he only makes party anthems though. Songs like I Fall Apart and Feeling Whitney were songs that were also really impactful, as the raw emotion Post Malone displays in these songs is easily transferred to the listener. I think the way in which he is able to convey such strong emotions within his songs is something that Post specializes in. It is also why he has amassed such a huge following, due to the connection he has built with his fans within his music. Now, with his latest entry, 12 Carat Toothache, in my opinion, it appeared to be a very emotional and introspective album from Post. It was surprising to me, however, that it didn't turn out to be as much of a success as his previous projects. This has led many people to consider this album to be a flop, and therefore I want to take a deep dive into the album and the discussion around it. I like you, I do. I wanna be a friend, go shopping in a bin. So, fun fact, on every previous Post Malone album, at least 2 songs have reached 1 billion streams. His previous album, Hollywood is Bleeding, for example, has 4 songs with 1 billion streams alone, with Sunflower amassing close to 2.5 billion streams. To put this into perspective, Eminem only has 5 songs total that have amassed 1 billion streams on Spotify. Clearly, Post has a proven track record of making hits. Then there's 12 Carat Toothache. Two of the biggest songs off the album were One Right Now and Cooped Up. However, both of these songs were released ahead of the album as singles. The only song that has released with the album that amassed over 100 million streams was I Like You featuring Doja Cat with just over 350 million streams. Now, I'm not one of those people who judge an album as a flop based on its sales or streams. To me, that's some Macklemore winning a Grammy over Kendrick Lamar type logic. With Post's album, it may not have done well in comparison to his other projects, but in comparison to other projects that released this past year, his numbers are better, if not on par with most of them. I personally really enjoyed 12 Carat Toothache quite a lot, as I connected deeply with some of the songs. By no means am I trying to say it's Post's best album or anything. I think Beer Bongs and Bentleys is his best project. I just feel that Post wasn't focused on creating quote-unquote hit records with this album and went for a more somber approach, and may be the reason the album didn't stream as well. My highlights off the album would be songs like Euthanasia, Insane, Lemon Tree, and my personal favorite, Waiting for a Miracle. And all of these songs are really gut-wrenchingly emotional. They are representative of strong emotions and themes like hate, depression, jealousy, regret, self-loathing, and somber acceptance that comes with moving on. And I think Post conveys these emotions really well, especially on Waiting for a Miracle, that I think is heavily slept on. The main gripes I have towards this album are actually directed towards the more upbeat songs that seem designed to be classic hits. If songs like Wasting Angels and I Like You were taken off the track list, I feel like the album would have been more of a cohesive experience. I'm somewhat of the opinion that these songs were added to the album just to capitalize off of the popularity that Kid Laroi and Doja Cat were experiencing at the time. And by all means, that is justifiable. An artist's main objective at the end of the day is to sell records. I just feel like these features could have been used differently throughout the album to fit more thematically with the entire project. It maybe wouldn't have changed things sales-wise, but at least for the listener it would have been more understandable as to the idea that is being presented within the music. I would have been fully interested in listening to an emotionally charged personal journey explained to us by Post through his music, but alas, that isn't what we got. An idea that sort of bobbed around in my mind while I was making this video revolves more around the comparison between Hollywood is Bleeding and 12 Carat Toothache. Stream-wise, they are completely incomparable, but if you removed all the songs that were sold as singles before they released on both albums, such as Circles, Sunflower, Cooped Up, One Right Now, etc., I think in terms of quality, both albums are actually pretty equal if you were to listen to them and compare them. I could just be an idiot though, so let me know your thoughts and how generally you feel about 12 Carat Toothache in the comments below. I'm sure there is a level of disappointment Post feels towards how well the album did streaming-wise. By Post's standards, this album is a flop. The only way to bounce back is to create more music, but this time with more of a point to prove. I'm curious as to the direction Post will take with his next project, and I hope he can prove some of his critics wrong.
Message to the youth is, don't give up. There's a lot of people, like I always say, man, there's a lot of people that are going to try to put you down and try to kick you while you're down, and they're going to tell you that you ain't never going to be shit. But just keep on rocking, because I had my times, you know, I had the dark times, very dark times, but, you know, you always going to come out like a phoenix, bro. You're going to come out of the ashes flying so high like a flaming bird.